Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dota Yoshi, bringing you another Dota 2 presentation. And today, on the Cybergamer Ladder, we have Mek Level Gaming, ranked 14th, challenging TSG for their 12th position. And if we look at the bans so far, we have TSG banning out that Shadow Demon and that Nyx Assassin. Over on Mek Level Gaming, we have Lystilla and Batrider. So, I just want to point out, Magnus. The last game I casted, Magnus got through the bans and the picks and just nothing. No one touched him. So I was slightly disappointed in myself. It was great not seeing a Magnus, but that Magnus would have helped. Anyway, onwards to this game. TSG pick up that lone druid. So they're already starting to look like they've got their offlaner, and he's got a fantastic presence in pushing towers. This could start to lead up for a greedy builders, then they could go for that 3 carry build. Or they might want to look to run a jungle, might even look to just have a tower potential push inside. Anyway, over a Mek Level Gaming, we do see that Magnus picked up, so he's not going to bypass through these pickups like the last match I did go through. And Rubik. Rubik's always a fantastic support. His lifesteal can win or dramatically destroy battles for your side. And that lift is always a great spell. Even at the moment, the cliffs aren't fixed. You can still throw people up on the cliffs. So if someone does go near them, you still have that opportunity to throw them up there. It is a little bit harder now because all you have to do is click just past the cliff. It's not too much harder, but it's just a little bit harder, and you still throw them on top of that cliff. So a little bit of a miss opportunity. Well, misplay coming out. Bug. I don't know what you want to call it. But still a bug that Valve has not quite fixed yet. I personally still don't see what the problem is. I mean, it teaches you not to go near the cliffs, and it does kind of... it feels like we're being babysat a bit more. I'm not sure if it was possible in Dota 1, but it just feels like if we're being babysat a bit more. I quite enjoyed seeing people stuck on cliffs for hours on end. So over on TSG, we see that Chaos Knight IO combination picked up. So they've got a lone druid, Chaos Knight, and that IO. They're going for a very strong mid-game to late-game style. Once IO and Chaos Knight pick up their level 6s, or just IO actually, Chaos Knight, it'll probably be on level 7 or 8 by then, but once IO picks up that level 6, look forward to a lot of ganking coming out. They need to use the potential of that IO to the full potential. And if TSG might also look at picking up a Nature's Prophet here, this is what I'm talking about being a bit greedy. They do have that lone druid first pick in that offlane. They can go for a Chaos Knight and IO. Will they want to go for a third potential carry hero and go for that greedy pickup? Or will they go for a little bit more safe, pick up a nice roaming mid such as a Puck or a Quap, and then another support? We'll see how they want to pick up and how they ban to try and counter Mek Level Gaming, who now has the Juggernaut under his belt. Juggernaut's great as you have that spin. It's almost as good as the Rage on that Lifestealer. Some might say it's better. I feel as if it's... what's the duration on his spin? Spins 5 seconds and it deals damage. I guess it would theoretically be better than the Lifestealer's Infest. Cooldown of 24 seconds. Got a quite hefty cooldown on it, however. But it's still a nice move, and it should help him avoid ganks. And the Entangle comes out, spin, you instantly dispel that Entangle. A stun comes flying through the air by Chaos Knight, you dispel it with your spin. So it's a nice pickup seeing that Juggernaut, and he can instantly take out Ire. If he does teleport in, you use that Omni Slash, and boom, there goes the Ire, and it's a one-on-one fight between you and Chaos Knight. And then you hopefully have your TP support coming in from your allies to protect you, and you can just turn the fight from there on. So Juggernaut is a nice pickup. It should protect him from those ganks of the IO Chaos Knight, but this doesn't help out the Rubik or the other support that will be picked up, which you do expect that will be roamed and ganked. Looking on to those looking on to the bans of either sides. TSG, Darkseer, Undyne, and that ban, while over on Mek Level Gaming, Crop, Coddle, and that Nature's Prophet. So they were thinking the same thing. They got rid of that Nature's Prophet to try and limit even more roaming potential, because if you have the Chaos Knight Ire, you have a Nature's Prophet too. That's 3 TPs anywhere on the map at any one time. That is beyond scary, and it just really puts you in a position where you have to play defensive. You have to start 5-manning, grouping up, and push. So TSG, they are banning out heroes. Don't really see the potential of banning that Undyne out. It didn't really look like they were leading up to banning that Undyne. I mean, he combos well with any hero, I guess. That Slew of the Tombstone, Juggernaut come in, do whatever damage you can. But I don't feel as if a Undyne would have worked too well in this position. Even though they do have quite a lot of high strength heroes, such as that Chaos Knight, Lone Druid will start to move up into that high strength. I mean, Undyne's a fantastic hero, no doubt, but I'm not too sure about that pick. Anyway, over in TSG they do pick up that Leshrac, so an Io Leshrac will be, and Chaos Knight will be looking to go to that tri-lane, or they might run that Io Chaos Knight mid, Leshrac someone else top, and Lone Druid on that offlane. Visage is now picked up by Mek Level Gaming. Always like the Visage. Visage is coming into the game these days. He was dead, and now all of a sudden, boom, he's revived. He's back in the action. It's such a fun hero to watch. If you can micro those familiars around, you can get fantastic stuns off. You can get quite a lot of burst damage. He's just a great hero in general. He's got a very, very strong nuke at the start. I think it's called a Soul Assumption. Yeah, it's Soul Assumption. So the more damage your teammates do to enemies, or you received, you return that straight back to them. Can't believe which one is it. This just gains so much damage taken by all heroes around him. So, any heroes around him? Blah, haha. Taken by all heroes. So any heroes around him that does take damage, he gains charges for it. So allies or enemies, and then you use that for a massive burst damage. He's a fantastic early game hero. He's good through to the mid game. He starts to fall off late game unless you can go for those, either an Aghanim Scepter for that third bird to get some more stun off, or you go for another item or two to help support the team. Over on TSG we do see the pickup of that Puck. Puck should easily be able to phase shift out of any harassment coming from this Magnus. You have, it doesn't even cost any mana, so if Puck can time these phase shifts right, Puck should be able to win the lane theoretically, because be able to return the damage, dodge those shockwaves, and be able to control the runes with that orb if you need to. And a gyrocopter being picked up by Mek Level Gaming. So Mek Level Gaming are going for a fairly mid-game hero style, whereas TSG are going from mid to late game. They have the definite strong tower push inside. They have Lone Druid, they have the Leshrac, Chaos Knight Eye, you TP to one lane, clear it out, leave the Chaos Knight there, and then you've got that tower. So Mek Level Gaming are going to have to be very wary of this early mid-game style, or very wary once this Eye hits level 6. When this Eye hits level 6, that's when you're going to see towers start falling on the side of Mek Level Gaming. So now we just wait for the heroes to pick their... Oh, we got a little DC coming out by the Magnus. So we're just waiting for the heroes to be selected, waiting on one guy who's probably texting. Not, as I say, that is in-game. So you do see that quick pause early at the start of the game, and now I will be able to introduce the teams for Mek Level Gaming playing on the Radiant. We have their captain Tinky playing on that Visage. On their Juggernaut will be Pickle. On the Gyrocopter will be Martino. On that mid, Magnus will be Exit, and finally on that support Rubik will be Joppy. Over on the side of TSG we have that captain being played onto that Puck, Affix, Leshrac, and LMK Guy will be the support players for TSG on that Leshrac and Io respectively. On... Did I say Leshrac will be played by Leshrac? I think I did. Well, okay. Panteros will be on that Leshrac. That teaches me to try and go all special or out of the ordinary. I don't know. Leave me alone. Over on Cosmos we've got on the Lone Druid. And finally we have Pikachu on Chaos Knight. So the lane setups should be pretty easy. If they want to go for this, they will be going for this tri-lane with Shrek, Io, and that Chaos Knight. Lone Druid will be on the offlane, and mid will be the Puck, unless they want to do some interesting strats and run Puck on that safe lane without a Shrek, with going for 2-2-1, but that's a bit out of the ordinary. I mean, it will help having that Io and Chaos Knight mid. You can try and shut down that Magnus with that Reality Rift tether, and then volley through with that stun. You can probably zone him out of the lane completely. Oh, sorry about that. But it might not be worth it necessarily. So we'll see how they want to run it. If done correctly, you can completely dominate that mid lane and be able to be very so far ahead that no one can come back, or no one can catch up to you, I should say. What do we have? Let me go back to the default announcer. Haven't heard the default announcer for a while. I probably have in tournaments, but I just haven't been paying attention too much. So we do see 3 heroes on the side of Mek Level Game will be running this aggressive tri-lane. They'll have the defensive gyrocopter down on the safe lane, and mid will be, of course, that Magnus. He's going for a quick bottle. He's got his tangos, 3 branches, and we're going for that quite quick bottle. So after a wave and a half, he could have that bottle if he last hits correctly. Over on TSG, we do have that rotation into the jungle. They're going to be looking for a pick-off. They won't find it. We've got a very defensive gyrocopter sitting behind that tier 2 tower, and the rest of them are just all spread out on the other side of the map. We do have wards for that IO, so we should see a creep camp block off. It's not going to be too effective. I mean, you're up against gyrocopters alone in a lane, so they're still going to ward it. Not going to be the most effective ward, but they don't know that yet, because no Mek Level have not revealed where they're sitting. Regen spawns top. This will probably, I want to see a deny, just deny it, people. You don't need to babysit it. Ah, disappointed Visage. So, ward coming out for on the side of Joppy, throwing it onto the Dire side. Give that vision up the ramp over here. Try and help out your mid from any rotation top. However, there won't be any rotation, as it's just the lone druid up top. So both sides, since their tri-lanes are against a single lane, they need to be aggressive. They need to win this lane. I mean, of course your carriers are going to win this lane. They're going to get those last hits, except Chari did manage to pick up one. You need to be aggressive. You need to shut down the opposing carry in these safe lanes. You have more than enough ability on the side of TSG. You have your Reality Rift, you have your Tether, you've got your stun from the Split Earth, and that Chaos Bolt. So this gyrocopter, if he takes a step or two out of position, he'll be dead. Do not want to see any passive play coming out by these supports, because they have more than enough damage to shut down Matino. And in the same phase, and up top we might have a little dive going up, a lift being packed up, throwing it back to the tower, gonna do a spin. Spin's not taking aggro from the tower. The aggro's still onto those Oucher, and we will see a final attack coming out from Joppy, picking up that kill on Cosmos. So that's what we need. Both sides, tri-lanes, need to be aggressive. They're aggressive, they're going to win this early game, win the mid game, and then have a much better shot into this late game. So, great play by Mek Level Gaming. We're going straight on the tower. They cleaned out the creep wave, so then the creeps took up all the shots from the tower. And only, I believe, 1 attack came off onto this Rubik, 1 or 2 attacks. So Rubik got out pretty unscathed for a kill. First blood onto Cosmos. Cosmos. He's going to rotate into the jungle now. He doesn't want to go back into that lane. He's not happy. He doesn't want to. Visage going to pull these creeps away, and they're going for a very fast early tower now. I mean, they have the lane to themselves. They know Lone Druid doesn't want to come back because he hasn't showed himself, so they presume he's jungling because he can jungle. And now they're going to get a nice hard stack, and they're going to get some creep camps. Except I think that Ursa Warrior, or Hellbear Smasher, the Ursa destroyed all those creeps, and so they're going to miss out on 3 creeps, which is quite unfortunate, but they're going to pick up those neutrals in return. No, they're not. Well, that's a little unfortunate on the side of Mek Level Gaming. They're going to miss out on a bit of creeps there, but they've done quite a lot of damage to this tower, and it's just going to continue the fall. You've got Leshrac waiting on the side. He wants to come in. Rocket's been thrown out by Matino just to do a little bit of harassment, try and ruin any last hits possibilities on Pikachu, which it did do. It ruined 1 creep, so that's more than enough damage done with a Rocket, especially since he will just regen that mana up quite soon. It looks like he's going to go for that Ring of Basilisk and move that into the Ring of Aquila, so he's going to have that mana regen pretty shortly to be able to regen that back up without any problems whatsoever. So, over in mid lane, let's check out how the heroes are going. Magnus, 0 for 7. Oh, 7 for 0. That would have been a bit weird. And this Puck, 11 for 4. So, as I stated at the start of the game, Magnus is going to have a little bit of a hard time up against this Puck. I mean, sure, he did go and bottle, so he did miss out on some creeps. But Puck has now got a bottle. It's full bottle, 3 charges. He can easily phase shift out of any harassment coming from Magnus. And Yeah, that's just that simple. So Puck's gonna slowly continue to win this lane unless you see any rotations from the supports up top. I mean, if they do throw a rotation up front down, this Puck could be in a lot of trouble, especially with a lift soul assumption and a shockwave coming out from that Magnus. You will have a dead Puck. He won't have enough time to phase shift. If he does, he won't have enough time to phase shift, orb, and get out of there completely, as he's got 2 points in his lane in Rift. So if once we see this tier 1 tower fall, look to see those supports up top rotate into middle to help their Magnus out, as he does slowly and desperately need it. Because it's more things to come. He'll slowly continue to lose that lane further and further, and Puck will just keep creeping ahead and ahead until Puck has that blink dagger and then start roaming itself. I'm not sure if Puck's a girl or a guy, but then Puck will start roaming, and then things will start getting a little bit iffy on the side of Mek Level Gaming. However, at the moment they are in the lead. They're 400 gold, 200 XP, so not too much, but they're about to get a tower. And Cosmos still farming these poor little creeps. Poor easy stat creeps. He wants to kill off these trolls, he's not going to be able to. Top layer, this wave, we got a dead top layer. Juggernaut, throw down his healing ward, everyone's got a heal Visage back up. He doesn't have any regen left on him. He's got a consumable of that clarity, but he's got no down and bottom lane. Oh, sorry I missed out. We do see with Shrek, Cast Knight, and that Io diving that Gyrocopter, and Io for Gyrocopter is more than a trade you'll want. I mean, Io even died to the Radiant generally, so Gyrocopter doesn't even get to pick up assist gold for that. So a nice dive down on bottom, trading that Gyrocopter for the Io, shutting down any chance for the Gyrocopter to come back in. So now Gyrocopter and this Lone Druid are going to be in the same position. However, Lone Druid has that opportunity to go into the jungle and farm. He's bare. He can just sit in here all he wants and just farm it up. He's got no care in the world. However, this Gyrocopter, he does not have that same luxury. He's walking down bottom. He's up against 3 stunners who won't leave him alone. They've got a dust, and in fact, they're going to be using this dust, and they're going to be the first supports to rotate in mid. They're going to be looking for this kill, and they're going to be able to get it if Magnus doesn't back. If they don't call out these 2 supports are missing, we could see a very, very dead Magnus very shortly. We've got an orb up in 6, so if he needs to, he can orb. He's got 15 mana short. No, he's just bottling up, so he can silence. He's throwing out that silence. Still, the supports aren't here. With Shrek, he's going to show himself he's visible. Has this Magnus seen him? It is daytime, and he has seen him. So this is a gank that's unfortunately now gone wrong, and they're gonna try and back now. They might think about going back in. Magnus playing very defensively, and this is what he needs to do. The supports have disappeared. They don't know where he's gone. But TP supports coming down bottom, so they're going to look to push this bottom tower. They even try and counter gank onto this Cast Knight, or even onto these supports that are rotating in now. And yes, that's what they're going to do. They're going to rotate into the jungle. They're going to find these supports, and we're going to have very, very dead supports very shortly. We might see a tether come out. We've got a Magnus. He's going to throw out a few auto attacks. He's got that double damage. TP out by the Leshrac, so Leshrac's going to survive. Io, on the other hand, not so lucky. So Leshrac's able to get out. Fine and dandy, goes up top lane to pick up a little bit of XP with that Lone Druid. Probably best if he did leave this top lane to that Lone Druid. He needs to be able to get this level 6 and start getting as much farm and XP under his belt as possible. Cast Knight, in the meanwhile, still farming up those creeps, sitting 23 for 5 against the Juggernaut 21 for 1. They both do have an assist under their belt, that Juggernaut. Oh, Juggernaut's got 2 now. They're going to be going onto this Cast Knight. Cast Knight's going to be lifted up, thrown back, fade bolted, spins doing a lot of damage. Soul Assumption coming out, picking off that kill on that Cast Knight. So, nice pick off on that Cast Knight, who was out of position. He was around here, wasn't inside his tower range. Lift back to here. Fantastic pick off and work by Mek Level Gaming. Going to be looking to push this tower next up on their agenda. This will keep pushing him in front. And we're going to see a skill on front. Is he going to pop his RP? He's been silenced. He doesn't have enough. He's going to now have enough for his RP, and he's going to chase in it. He's going to try and bottle it up. Little Shrac's here to stop him at any chance. His Shockwave's going to miss. He's still got that RP. He's going to RP onto 2. He still doesn't have that Shockwave down. He's going to auto attack once. There's going to be a phase shift. They're going to dodge. Dream Call. And we're going to dead Magnus. But he trades for that Puck. So A little bit of a misplay coming out that makes us. He could have got out of there if he got that first shockwave off and running. And when he does misses, but he does eventually get the kill, the XP will go to the Lishrak, and Puck, he does miss out on it because he was dead. Now, bottom lane, we see this tower fall. We've got a reality riff in, tower stun. We've got a spit in straight away because that pay assault was late. A lot of damage coming out by this rocket approach. Auto attack finishing off from that Visage, finishing off that Chaos Knight. And now there's a retreat, getting hit by that flak cannon of the gyrocopter. So, a little bit of misplay coming out of that Chaos, not being able to throw out that reality Chaos bolt in time, so a spin got safely thrown off, and they turned the fight, and were able to take the tower, take a kill, and then back without any real consequences. In the meanwhile, we got the farming Cosmos. He's got nothing. He's got boots up and running, he's got the shield. He's got 1500, he hasn't decided to buy anything. We'll see what he wants to start to turn that into. We go for a fast armlet, go for those boots. And who knows? He does pick up a mithril hammer. That's unusual first item pickup. I wonder what he wants to try and turn that into. We have multiple items he could turn it into. I would say he would be going for that Maelstrom. You don't really see that BKB option once. I think we saw it. Oh, the last time I saw it was in Alliance versus... Oh, I can't remember who Alliance was versus. But they picked up the BKB on the bear to stop him from being stunned so they can take down the tower. And they kept popping that BKB early. And then the bear still got picked off anyway. They did end up winning the game. Because, I mean, it is Alliance, come on. So, nice dodge there from Affix to dodge Exit's shockwave coming through. And that's just the advantage of Puck. No mana cost to be able to dodge a pretty high damage spell. Magnus is going to get that deny on Affix. Got to be a little annoyed, but what can you do about it? He's now fallen behind in those creep kills. Magnus is now ahead by 6. And now they're going to Dream Coil onto 2. We're going to see a spin instantly. They're going to be Reality Rift Castbolt. RP onto 2. It's going to miss that Puck. Puck's going to be able to get out of there pretty fine. Will this Chaos not be able to reach? They're still chasing down. Lishrak throws out the lightning. Lightning's not doing too much damage. Shockwave comes through, finishing off that Lishrak. The auto attack not being able to finish off. The Magnus Fade Bolt coming through, not doing too much damage, as it's only a level 2 Fade Bolt. Level 3 actually, but still didn't feel like it did that much damage. Final auto attack, can they get onto the IO? Body Box is trying to come through, but there's a Shockwave up in 3 seconds. Will this IO be able to juke it out? We got a nice body block, but Puck trades the life for that body block. Will they be able to find anything else? Lone Druid and Guys run away, so they're not going to be able to find it. Io trading the life for the Puck. I mean, Puck trading life for Io. Not what you want. Puck needs to get up his Blink Dagger as soon as possible, and if he can't get that up fast, it's going to pretty much like any hero that wants their Blink Dagger. Magnus is 800 gold away, or 700 gold away from picking up that Blink Dagger. So they do have those 2 towers, and this 3rd tower is going to help quite substantially to continue solidifying their lead. They are almost 5k ahead, and they're 2k XP. So after this tower goes down, they'll move into 6k. Regenerate is being pinged up at top. We got a lightning bolt coming flying through, just doing a little bit of damage. Not going to be initiation here, as there is no Dream Coil up and running for another 10 seconds. And one little small play thing that is happening with TSG is they don't have level 6 on this IO. IO and Chaos Knight have been forced out of the lane and they've been rotating around. They came mid, they haven't been able to get this. They should have stayed in the lane, farm it up, getting that level 6. Once they have that level 6, they force Mek Level Gaming to sit together, to work as a team. And that's when you can start split pushing as the Lone Druid go on top. You have your Chaos Knight and IO down the bottom. Dream Coil comes out, but there's not going to be initiation, so a waste of Dream Coil from the side of Affix. So, this Chaos Knight and I are not being able to pick up their level 6s, not farming up, they're falling behind quite bad. Chaos Knight does have boots up, we do have base boots onto Chaos Knight. But you look at their counterpart, Juggernaut, he's got braces, he's going for those drums, he's going to have a pretty decent time in drums, not the fastest. He does have 6 assists to his name, hasn't been able to find a kill. Where are my kills? Pickle yells to the rest of his team. I mean, look at those supports. 1 on Joppy, 2 on Tinker. I believe the other where'd the other one go? Magnus. Magnus has got 4. And Pickle's just wondering, why me? I want some damn kills. They can just see him wanting to rage at the end of the game if they do lose it. Just yelling at the rest of his team. It's like, I blame you all for not giving me those kills. I can just see it coming now. You hear me, Pickle? I know you will. So, now TSG are trying to farm up whatever they can around the place. I mean, they're still top lane free. They've got bottom lane now free as well. And Mek Level Gaming are just keeping pressure in the mid, forcing TSG to play very defensively. They're missing out on a lot of XP and gold. I mean, look at these two. They're sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And the only person that's really getting anything is this lone druid who was sitting here in the mid lane getting some farm. These two, they need to rotate out and get this farm. So they're going to rotate bottom now, and this is what they need. They're going to possibly get the level 6 up on that Chaos Knight, but Io's still not going to get that level 6 until about the 15-minute mark. If they'd stayed in their lane, given up that tier 1 in mid without any hassle, without fighting it, they would be level 7, they would have that roaming potential, and they'd have possibly a tower down bottom down, lone druid pushing top, and they'd possibly trade 2 towers for that one mid-tier tier 1 tower. So I don't quite like how TSG have chosen to take their fights at the moment. We do see the Blink Dagger being picked up on that Magnus, and now that Maelstrom, who being rushed on that lone druid. So he does bypass that armlet, so it's possibly likely that they're just gonna, before the next patch comes out, which does nerf that armlet onto the bear, they're going to start changing and looking up into the new items before that new patch comes out. Magnus is ready to jump in. He's got that Blink Dagger, he's got his RP. He's level 9, so it's only level 1, but it's more than enough to win a game. Nice skewer away from a lucky entangle from Cosmos. But they're still going to be looking to force the engagement here. And once again, these two heroes, they're sitting around doing nothing. Chaos Knight needs to pick up a TP since his Eye doesn't have that relocate. They just need to hold this wave off. I mean, you have the orb, you have the silence, you have a lightning. That's more than enough to keep creeps off the tower. So while that's happening, you get farm up on these other two heroes. Jericho in the meanwhile, he's been working his magic in the jungle, farming up wherever he can. So he doesn't even need to sit with his team. So that's one thing I love about Mek Level Gaming is they're forcing the pressure onto TSG. They're forcing their heroes to group up and waste time, not getting XP, not getting gold, and they're going to get towers. They're going to get XP in exchange. But now, Io still 5.5. RP got cancelled. Didn't want to go for it. Casbolt comes out. Only hits for 1 second, so it's not too well. It's only level 3. Level 3. Well, that's a little unfortunate getting that 1 second. Usually you always see a 4-second stun came out by Chaos Knight. It's completely rigged. Very rigged hero. So he's got that bracer. He's stuff ready in his stash. They're going to pick it up. Will they get the deny on the tower? Puck's going to come in. Not going to get that deny. RP on creeps. And this is where they need to back. If they try and force a fight here, they will lose. They've popped the RP. There's going to be a nice reverse clarity in. But the cooldown, it does so much damage. It destroys 2 heroes. 2 heroes down. Spin it onto the lone druid. Lone druid's going to fall shortly after. And that's 4 kills in favour of Mek Level Gaming. They're going to be, oh sugar. They're going to be chasing for this puck. Puck's going to be able to get out of there without a problem. But that was massive. They wasted the RP, yet that cooldown, it did so much damage. It was unbelievable. It like almost one-shot the Io, who's got no health in his name. It took down Chaos Knight so fast, and the rest of the damage coming in just absolutely demolished. Juggernaut being able to pop that Omnia Slash onto the Lone Druid, almost completely sold Lone Druid alone. They're going to come in, going to Reality Rift, going to miss on that Chaos Bolt. It's going to throw it onto the Magnus, but it's not going to work too well. They're still going to be forced back into that base. Still going to get hit by that stun. It's only a level 1, so it's not going to do too much damage or sit around for too long. But this is the problem with TSG. They did not get the levels up onto the Ire and Chaos Knight. Now they're paying for it. Mek Level Gaming are pushing them hard, pushing them fast, before TSG can do anything about their global presence, which they don't have yet. So Exit just going to farm up some more up top. He's got 1300k to 1300k. Wow, that would be ridiculous. He's got 1300 gold to his name. See what he wants to pick up next. He might go for that refresher. He might go for more of a cheaper build on that Shivers Guard, depending on their auto attack. Reduce the auto attack on that Io, well, not Io, but the Chaos Knight and that Lone Druid. You might go for a Battle Fury just because he can. Daedalus. Magnus is a great hero. He can go for whatever the team needs. Go for that carry build. He can go for more of a support build. Reduce the speed or attack speed. Just a very versatile hero. That's why you see him banned out so often in competitive, because he brings so much to the table. Rubik has that warning roof, so that silence on that from that puck. Gyrocopter still just roaming around farming up some gold. He's got his BKB up in 400 gold, so you don't look to see a fight from Mek Level Gaming come out until they do have that up and running. What I'd love to say in situations like these is for TSG to smoke gank. This is not possible because these two heroes are so far down in levels. They can't smoke gank. I mean, you do have these three heroes. Lone Druid won't want to smoke gank, so it leaves you with Shrek and a puck, and these two heroes can't do anything by themselves. So now we do finally have that IO up in level 6. They don't have any vision of where anyone is on the map. The only person currently showing themselves is that Juggernaut. The rest of the heroes are currently vanished, so they have to play very cautiously. They don't have any vision up in top room. They got a little bit of vision down on bottom, so they should only be able to see... Oh, they can see it there as well. I thought it was only about there, but I'm mistaken. So they can see any rotation coming down from bottom unless they are smoked. So let's have a little bit of squiz at the items on either sides. Some of the major items, Visage does have his arcane boots up and running, so does Joppy, and so does Magnus. So they're going to be supplied topped out on all the mana they could ever need. Over on TSG, oh, well, I've completely forgot about the Juggernaut. Juggernaut's got that Yasha up and running, so he's going to have a lot of damage. He's going to have that movement speed. No one's going to be able to run away from him, no matter what's the cost. Over on TSG, we don't have too many substantial items. Cast Knight now has his drums up, but now that you compare him with that Pickle, Pickle's got an extra Yasha. Pickle's got a shield, TP, and that's about another 2-3k in favour of that Pickle. So if I can throw up that net worth, yeah, 3k in favour. Pickle completely outlaning this Chaos Knight. That's because Pikachu has just been shut down the entire game. They've just been sitting on the sidelines not doing anything. Now they're going to be rotating through their jungle, throw down the ward, they're going to see this Visage. But it's a nice ward here, they're going to be able to see probably about pretty much through there. So they're going to get some vision, they're going to see any rotation through the bottom here, but they do know everyone's up here. They're going to be sitting back from the tower, they're going to be split up, which is nice what you want to do. However, I still think Io and Chaos Knight should be down pushing another lane. I mean, you have relocate, you can be anywhere on the map at any time, so... Joppy being completely caught out, throwing up RP onto 3. Nice RP coming out. They're going to do a lot of damage. Skill back into 3, into the cooldown. Cooldown still more damage. There's going to be 2 dead, 3 dead, and as Puck's going to fall very shortly after throwing that call. No, Puck's going to get out of there pretty fine. So once again, fantastic, oh, this time a fantastic RP into a cooldown from that skewer, and they're going to wipe out TSG. TSG, they should have been pushing this lane. You need farm. You can't fight 1v1 these or 5v5 these at the moment. You need that farm, you need that XP, you need that gold, and you can at least trade towers, and if you need to, relocate, force TPs, the entire lot. Instead, they're trying to fight these completely underleveled, underfarmed, and they're just being demolished because of it. So Mek Level Gaming are not letting up the pressure at this game at the moment. They're going to consistently keep putting this pressure on. They're going to rotate down bottom, as you can already see from a few of their heroes with that TP from that Juggernaut who's now healing himself up. You have the Rubik following him down to give him a little bit of mana, keep him up and running. You should see these 3 heroes of Mek Level Gaming start to rotate down this bottom lane, which they are going to do so now. Do we see a smoke up? Yeah, we've got a smoke up by TSG, but they're already rotating. Mek Level's already rotating bottom, and they're going to force another fight. This is going to be a wasted smoke, more wasted time of XP and gold farming. For what? Nothing. It's going to be 4v5, and they're going to get in a lot of trouble, because this Lone Druid's still farming away. He's going to start working towards his Helm of Iron Man and move it into the armlet, but it's probably a little bit too late to go for your armlet at this stage. It's usually your first item, your first main item after your boots, which I don't believe he's got on his back. Which is, sometimes, it's not questionable. Some players like to get those boots, others don't. Some like to get those face boots so your bear can run through those creeps without getting any possibility of creep pathing issues. However, that won't be the case. They're going to start working with a TP coming in from this gyrocopter. They could look to fight this. No, they can't. They have to run. Will we see a relocate to save this Chaos Knight's life? No. Io is going to be trying to tether. He's going to tether. Will he relocate out? No, he's going to save himself. Puck's going to get out of there as well. They're going to continue the chase. The rockets come flying through the air. It's going to stun for... How long will it stun for? It's going to stun for about 2 seconds. Will they be able to find him in time? One, two. No, they're not going to be able to chase him down. He's going to get out of there pretty fine. Just throwing out a little bit of tethers, just a little bit of cheekiness, trying to split up the side of Mek Level Gaming, try and throw him off guard. However, that smoke game for TSG, it failed. They wasted more gold and XP and more time. And as it shows in the gold, that gold is heavily, substantially in favour of Mek Level Gaming. And I really need to stop saying multiple words. Like, heavily, substantially. I mean, really, come on. So anyway, that's something I need to work on. Terrible, terrible habit that I need to get myself out of. Which eventually, there we go again. Eventually, hopeful. Which hopefully I can get out of that habit. It's a pain. We do have eyes trying to scout these out with those wisps, but there's not much they can do about it. They've got a severely under-leveled team, under-farmed team, and if they go for a one-on-one fight, we can easily see Mek Level Gaming turn this around. Magnus is currently down on bottom. This is not where you want to be. If it's time to fight, it is now. TSG do have that little small window, but it's too. The window has now been shut into their face, so they're not going to be able to find that opening. Leshrak's going for that counter ward. He does manage to find it. So now, Mek Level Gaming will be fighting into the dark. We've got a relocation down on bottom. They're going to be looking for this Magnus. Magnus has that haste. He's going to be able to rift it in. It's going to be picked off. This, we need more of this. We need more relocation gates picking off those singular heroes. So, where will I return? Not into death. But a nice little pickoff that TSG need. They need to continue to try and find these pickoffs, and now they can start working towards these towers. However, in the meanwhile, Gyrocopter farming. So they're just split pushing, getting all the gold they want. They control the map, and this forces TSG to rotate together. So we're going to see Puck rotate back to base, try and get some more gold, and now we're going to see another Oceanic attempt. Two heroes are split up around the map. They might try and rotate into this Roshan, but Roshan should die quite quickly. I'd like to see an empower up on him, but that Magnus is dead. So Puck's finally got her Blink Dagger up at 24 minutes. This should help him out substantially for that initiation. Jump in silence, Dream Coil, and you have them all locked into position. The only problem from that is, Leshrak is basically a melee hero with his stuns, with any abilities. They're going to be looking to fight in. Lone Druid's back coming in, doing a fair bit of damage. They're going to try and stop that rocket, not doing any damage to that rocket for some reason. Going to stun the Spirit Bearer up. They're going to continue on this Roshan. Roshan's down to 500, 400, 100, gone. So Roshan will be picked up by Pickle, or the Aegis will be picked up by Pickle. He's going to get out of there. He's got his attack thingy up. What's it called? Hyperstone. I keep forgetting what it's called. So he'll be looking to pick up, I would presumably think, an AC, as it severely increases the damage output from your Omni Slash and your auto attacks. That does help the rest of your team. It gives you that armor against Cast Knight. Cast Knight does a fair bit of damage. If you have some armor to negate it, then he's going to slowly become useless. So they're going to be looking to push towards this mid Tier 3 tower, and a nice entangle comes up from Magnus. Magnus might fall right here, right now. Great Dream Coil, great cooldown coming in. Hits on 3, hits on 4. Now we're going to see the death of the Castness, death of the Ire, and now we got Omni Slash popping off that Leshrak in the middle. Now there's going to be auto attacks onto the Puck. Going to skewer come back in, find that Lone Druid, and that's a team wipe. They're going to go to the tower, go for the racks, and the GGs do get called by Panteros and the side of TSG. So great play by Mek Level Gaming, being able to pressure hard, pressure fast. And TSG just doing a little bit of questionable cause. Not letting that Ire, not letting that Chaos Knight work together and then push lanes by themselves and then relocate in when they needed. They fell behind in farm, behind in XP, and it just snowballed against them that entire time. So we will be seeing Mek Level Gaming take TSG down, and they will pick up their 12th position on the ladder. TSG will now move to 13th, and Mek Level Gaming are showing their dominance at the moment. So they will be continually moving up the ladder. Look to see them in the top 5 quite soon, as they're playing very good Dota, working together as a team, nice picks, and being able to shut down the lanes when required. So this has been another Dota Yoshi Dota 2 presentation. Thank you for watching. If you do enjoy my cast, and it does mean a lot if you do follow me on YouTube. I mean, it really does mean a lot. I appreciate it. If not, it's all good. Now, thank you for watching. Have a good one.